So I guess the narrative is now going to be that Arch Manning is severely overhyped because they're saying he had a bad performance in this their first game. They lose here by a score of 14-7. He's a member of the Texas Longhorns, as you might see right there. They lose in the opener here to kick off the college season. They lose to Ohio State 14-7. Ohio State looks like they're ranked number 3, and Texas is ranked number 1. I don't know how much that means as they're only one game in. But Arch Manning, right? The legendary Manning family. He is the oldest son of Cooper Manning. Through his father, he is grandson of Archie Manning and nephew to Cooper's brothers, Peyton and Eli Manning, as I kind of grew up watching in the scripted NFL, right? But Archie, Peyton, and Eli, all three former NFL quarterbacks. His younger brother, Heed, I think is how you pronounce that,Heid, was the center for the football team and played lacrosse at Isidore Newman School. It says he was the center for the football team. I don't know what the hell that means. But we're not talking about his younger brother here. We're talking about Arch Manning and this 7-point loss. So Texas 0-1, Ohio State, the Buckeyes 1-0. This is a Associated Press article that I will be decoding as usual, and it says in the title, full of expectations, Arch Manning struggles as top-ranked Texas falls at number 3, Ohio State. And I'm going to attempt to play this.
Arch might have just shown us that he's the most overhyped quarterback in all of college football. Arch Manning was terrible against Ohio State, and in the end, he threw more passes in the dirt than he did first downs. To put things into perspective, this interception by Arch Manning will go down as the longest throw of the game prior to the fourth quarter. Arch was overthrowing guys, throwing hospital balls, and ultimately lost Texas the game by missing easy points in the red zone. And it gets so messed up, fans are saying that he's so overhyped that he had to have been adopted. No way a quarterback named Manning can't read defenses. Now look, I can't fully agree with all of this. Manning struggled a lot, and while I do think that it's impossible for him to live up to the hype, I also think he's being overhated as well. Remember, Arch is just 20 years old, and during the first road start of his career, he played against number 2 ranked Ohio State coming off of a national championship. That's just diabolical. And through all the checkdowns and errant throws, it's safe to say that
Fake sports is funny. You got a loss against Ohio State. Who did they just say national champions? Come on. And one loss, and you got the narrative now that Arch Manning is no good. It's like, really? So, as I do on this channel, let's open up Canva over here, and I think I'm ready to get into this. So, these are just some connections. These are just some connections. To be honest, look, I didn't read the damn story, okay? I see he's 17-30. Okay. Ooh, right? You're going to have good games, you're going to have bad games. I didn't go read the whole article. I may look at it here in a bit, but I'm showing you some connections that are undeniable. Look at Arch Manning's birthday now, quarterback, Texas Longhorns, a member of the famous Manning family. Look at his birthday, April 27th, 2004. I told myself when I saw the birthday, I'm like, damn, I'm almost positive I just saw that birthday recently, and I was correct because that's Leroy Jordan's birthday. And you get a football connection here because Leroy Jordan played for the Dallas Cowboys, and I took that slide from the breakdown. You see the connection with Michael Jordan, you see Kobe Bryant, right? But how did they got the same birthday now and they're both trending? Okay, and that's a death with Leroy Jordan, linebacker, Dallas Cowboys. Now you get the same birthday with Arch Manning. You know what's amazing? Arch Manning plays for the Texas Longhorns, and Leroy Jordan played for the Dallas Texas Cowboys. Damn. So that just sunk in. So you can see kind of a pattern there, right? And there may have been some stories. Uh oh, you know what? Oh, never mind. Duh. But you may see some stories with Peyton Manning, possibly, maybe throughout his career, maybe with Texas, or maybe with the Cowboys, or maybe something with Eli, maybe something with Archie. But this is Arch Manning, and isn't that awesome? Archibald Charles Manning. Isn't that was a solid Texas connection right there with the same birthdays and these two guys trending. I understand, we could have fake stories by the numbers, by the language. And, my algorithm picks up, okay, you just looked at this story with this guy's got that birthday. Now we're going to feed you this story. Guys got the same birthday, but these are top trending stories. Do you see what I'm saying? So, this is not nothing we have completely figured out what's going on here. But some of the stuff, is just it's extreme, right? You get deaths, you get big college football games. So, what's going on with this language? Again, so you get that same birthday and that Texas connection, right? It's one thing you got the same birthday, but then you got the Texas connection there. And then it makes you think, how deep does this go? And then you can see how it's so meticulous. Then when you have everything scripted like that, you see how it all comes together, right? So, his full name, Archibald Charles Manning. You see it right there? Look at that 106 with his full name. You look at how the cipher breaks down. He does got 16 on his jersey. You see it right there? Now 106 is like 16. And you know what? Think about Peyton Manning. P is the 16th letter of the alphabet, so that's interesting. But look at the 106, which is like 16, with the full name Archibald Charles Manning. You see the breakdown? Sabrina Carpenter. 106. That's the same, just a different cipher. So when I see the 106, I'm like, here we go again. Okay, she has a new album that she dropped. It's called Man's Best Friend. I'm saying it out loud in case some kind of something hits, right? But we see that 106 land in the language. And in that breakdown, I also showed how the 106th day of the year, in this year that we're in right now, I looked at Taylor Townsend, and her birthday was the 106th day of the year. She's trending, and that's tennis. You know why? That's amazing because Peyton Manning, he attended Tennessee. So isn't that awesome? Tennessee, tennis. Isn't that, man, that's just extreme, isn't it? And look, Taylor, Townsend, TT, tennis. But that tennis, Tennessee, and that just clicked in my brain on the fly. But look, the 106th day of the year, you see Taylor Townsend on the right there trending because she had this back and forth with Jelena Ostapenko at this tennis match, the U.S. Open, I believe. And they made it a race thing. You know, did Jelena call you uneducated? And I think she said she was classless. Did she say that because you're black? And it's like, here we go with the narrative. But black equals 106. Taylor Townsend's birthday, the 106th day of the year, trending. Sabrina Carpenter trending, 106. Archibald Charles Manning now trending, 106. Texas, Tennessee, tennis, Taylor, Townsend. That's interesting too because Taylor Swift is connected to football, also connected to music like Sabrina Carpenter. Wow, you want to? That's amazing because Taylor Swift now engaged to Travis Kelce. His birthday is October 5th, 105. So good God Almighty, one more number and we would have had the 106. So look at how all of this stuff hits on the fly. That's why the videos are going 30 to 40 minutes lately, because I can't just deny all of this language, uh all of these dates, all of these patterns that I see, all of these trending stories. I can't deny the information that is in my, it's in my brain from all the practice. Even Trevor Lawrence has that 106. Look at his birthday, October 6th. He's got 16 on his jersey. And I can't wait for what I have later on in the breakdown because, Trevor Lawrence, he played for Clemson in college. They wear orange. Texas wears orange with Arch Manning. Peyton Manning in college played for Tennessee. They wear orange. Trevor's got the T. Look at that right there. And his birthday is 106, October 6th, with that 16 on his jersey. And I still think that somehow, some way, he's connected to Peyton Manning maybe a little bit more than they tell us. Notice how he was born in Tennessee, where Peyton Manning played college. Okay? Look at that right there. Right? Knoxville, Tennessee. I mean, look at that. I mean, isn't that amazing? I think it's amazing, okay? So we get all of these 106s. I'm showing you like obvious connections. I've seen Trevor Lawrence, on YouTube or whatever, perform playing football, right? And I'm like, man, I'm not saying that his talent reminds me of Peyton or anything. Maybe it's just like his something about maybe like his like arm length or just the way he moves possibly. But I'm like, interesting, right? And with all of the hype behind him coming out of college. So you get that T, don't you? Like Tennessee, T like Taylor, T like Townsend, T like Texas as we move forward. Okay? So, and again, the 16 on the jersey here for Texas quarterback. And you know what? They lose to Ohio State here 14-7. And they say Arch Manning struggles. He's 17-30. I have some more of those stats coming up. They're saying he's overthrowing passes or whatever. The script. But That's, look, Columbus, Ohio right there. So Ohio State University, you see the AP Columbus, Ohio? Ohio equals 16 and 61, okay? So look at 125 days after his birthday is this game. Buckeyes equals 125. Let me get a drink of my coffee. I mean, coffee's the one thing that I struggle if I try to kick. So I'll be unprofessional because, I'm not an entertainer. I need a sip of this coffee as you let that soak in. So, 125 days after his birthday, loses to the Buckeyes. Buckeyes 125. I keep showing you these connections to other stories, okay? Look at these 125s that have hit recently, and there's another football connection down there. But it is kind of connected here. Besides the football, there's just stories and stories piled. It's like every new decode I do, I got to show you the previous decode where it connects. And in the previous decode, I show how it connected to the previous story and beyond and beyond. So look, 125, Cardi B, she's in court. Security guard alleging assault. Bodak Yellow, that's like her massive hit song that she started popping with. Bodak Yellow. Man, if it was Bodak Orange, I'd flip my lid. Bodak Yellow 125. Tim Riggins, the character played by Taylor. Look, you get another Taylor and another T. Taylor Kish. He's trending because he's got a new show. The Terminal List, another T. Dark Wolf. But look, they say he's known for portraying Tim Riggins in Friday Night Lights. Tim Riggins has 125. Look at that. And you know what, man? I think Sabrina Carpenter might have 125. I just forgot to put it in here. Possibly. I think so. I think Sabrina Carpenter's got the 125 as well. So, I mean, isn't that completely wild? So that's pretty wild, but look at that football jersey. And, I have the arrow pointing there from the slide from the previous breakdown that connected it to some other stuff. Now we get this football connection. Isn't that amazing? Because Peyton Manning went to the Denver Broncos, who also wear orange, after, becoming legendary with the Colts. He goes to the Broncos, wins a championship. Dude, he beat the Panthers, Carolina. Come on, man. Come on, right? And now you get this football connection. This dude's got the Panthers, Tim Riggins. Tim's got the T. Come on, man. He's got the Panthers and Friday Night Lights right there. I never seen it. I guess it's a football show. Good God Almighty. So, I mean, I'm just going to break away real quick and go over here. So you see, again, Arch Manning, the Manning family. His father is Cooper Manning, and he's the grandson of Archie Manning through his father. Peyton and Eli, he's the nephew. So are they his uncles? I don't know. But you see Eli right there, New York Giants. I like to do this because, something may. Eli Manning played 16 seasons. Come on, man. Come on, man. Eli played 16 seasons, dude. There's that 16 again. Zoom out. There it is right there. Eli played 16 seasons. This is why we do this. Okay? Eli played 16 seasons. Here's his grandfather, Archie. Looks like he wore number 8. We just finished the 8th month. He's born in 49. NFL equals 49. Super Bowl equals 49. We've been hitting on a lot of 49s. You could even look at the last breakdown I did. It was all 94, 49, Rudy Giuliani. Well, maybe not all, but I think the best connection in that breakdown was the 94, 49. You see right here, number 8 for Archie. Looks like he played for the Saints. And Peyton Manning, I'm assuming Eli was born there too, but I know at least Peyton, as they are brothers. And here's the father, Cooper Manning. He's got that March 6th birthday right there. And let's just scroll down. So is he just he's an entrepreneur, TV personality, the host of the show The Manning Hour. I know he's kind of funny or whatever. But you just see this is so this would be, so is this his mom then? Cooper Manning's wife? Or I mean you at least get that connection, right? Ellen Heidingsfelder, Louisiana native who earned her undergraduate degree from Loyola University and her law degree from the University of Virginia. So yeah, that's Arch Manning's mom, it says right there. And you get Peyton Manning right here. Look, Peyton Manning is age 49 right now. And Archie is born in 49. Look at that. Super Bowl 49, NFL 49. I think Peyton Manning wore 16 in college as well. He's born March 24th, Peyton. So this is, I'm guessing he's the uncle then? Is that how it works? Let me know if I'm wrong. But you see his birthday is March 24th right there. And Cooper, his brother, his birthday is March 6th. So Peyton Manning's birthday is 18 days after his brother Cooper, and Peyton Manning wore 18 in the NFL. You see right there? Bam, Cooper Manning, March 6th. You see that? Peyton Manning's birthday, March 24th, 18 days later. And Peyton is known for that number 18 in the NFL. Look, you see it right there. Okay, so look, this guy's got the same birthday as Arch Manning. Look, this guy, he's a TikToker, famous birthday. Look, he's got the same birthday, and his name's Peyton. I just saw this right here. Right, they mentioned Halloween with this guy. Halloween, orange like a pumpkin. Anyways, here's kind of like the box score of this game here. Not a lot of points. Texas scores 7. Ohio State scores 14. You could see Arch Manning 17 to 30, 170 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Julian Sayin of Ohio State 13 to 20, 126 yards. As we just kind of scan, look, there's a guy named Donaldson right there. But let's go back over here. So now, let's go back over here. Bam. And there's a few more connections. Nice connections too, okay? So you can see right here, the middle name is Charles. Archibald Charles Manning. Look at Charles 123. This game, August 30th, leaves 123 days in the year. And we just mentioned this may be the biggest piece of the breakdown. Maybe I should have had it at the beginning. Manning equals 17. Look at his last birthday, April 27, the 117th day of the year. Quarterback equals 117. He completes 17 passes for 170 yards. Like 17. Nice, huh? So that's a complete script right there. And again, you see the orange. I still say that Trevor Lawrence is more connected here than what they lead us to believe, as Trevor Lawrence, remember, he's born in Tennessee. Peyton Manning plays for Tennessee. You get the T's like Texas with Arch Manning. You know what's absolutely amazing? Texas Longhorns. Arch Manning, same birthday as Leroy Jordan when Michael Jordan played for the Chicago Bulls. Bulls, you play with the bull, you get the horns. Come on, man. Come on, Manning. And you know what else? Think about it. Manning, you get man in there. Lady Gaga's trending. She's going to perform at the MTV Video Music Awards. Lady Gaga, like Goo Goo Gaga, baby. Michael Jackson's birthday was the other day. Jackson. Sabrina Carpenter, she had a show. Now she's a musician, but she was a part of the Disney Channel. The name of the show, Girl Meets World. And remember Boy Meets World? This stuff is ridiculous. I connected that to Kid Cudi. You got to watch my breakdown. So come on, right? Kid, son, lady, Goo Goo Gaga, man, ing, girl, boy. This stuff is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Don't forget Ohio equals 16 and 61. I feel like we didn't look at Ohio State that much. When was Ohio State University founded? I feel like we're not going to get nothing here. 1870? I see that. We got something. Oh, it's magic. Ohio State University, founded in 1870. Drop that zero. 187, numerology. Texas Longhorns, 187. Wow, you could leave the zero. Texas Longhorns, 187 and 70, like 1870. Do you like that on the fly right there? The world's fake, man. Everything's ran on the language. Who wants to argue? Everything's ran on the language. Who wants to argue? What do you think about that? I did not look at the story, okay? I didn't look at the story. They want us to get emotional. He's not living up to the hype. Come on, man. What do you think about that? So now I'm going to scan the article now just to see, is there going to be some other 16s that pop? So the score was 14-7, right? The much hyped sophomore took the top ranked team on the road to face the defending national champions. Add into that being the consensus early Heisman Trophy favorite. I'm going to say he won't. It was no wonder that some nicknamed the Longhorns preseason Arch Madness. That's interesting because that's like March Madness. Peyton Manning, born in March. Oh, Arch Manning's dad, Cooper, born in March. So Manning in total accounted for 208 yards of total offense. with that 17 of 30, 170 yards, 10 rushing attempts for 38. Okay, so he had 38 yards rushing. Remember Peyton's birthday in a non-leap year, the 83rd day of the year, football equals 83. This is a quarterback. Tom Brady's birthday, the 3rd day of the 8th month, like 38 yards. Oh, even Arch was 9 of 15 for 38 yards and an interception in the first 3 quarters. So glad they let us know that. So glad they let us know that. All right? I'm so glad they let us know. Thank you, Associated Press. Will Google tell us why Arch Manning struggled? Explain how Arch Manning struggled against Ohio State. Thank you, Google. A lack of rhythm, inaccurate passing, costly turnovers, and an inability to read Ohio State's complex defense. I wonder if that was already written out. Right? And now we get to see it. All contributing to the Longhorns' 14-7 loss. In his first career road start, he was often confused by the Buckeyes' defensive scheme, forcing him into panic. I mean, that's the script. Panic decisions, inaccurate throws, though he showed flashes of potential during the Longhorns' lone touchdown drive. His birthday, again, the same birthday as Leroy Jordan, Dallas Cowboy, first member of their Ring of Honor, Dallas, Texas, and freaking Arch Manning plays for the freaking Texas Longhorns. What are the odds of that? What do you think of my breakdown? Will I be further shadow banned? Right? Saying the word shadow banned, I think, buries me more. It's okay. I also think that, the New Orleans connection with the Mannings and Peyton Manning. I still think that Drew Brees, who looks very similar to Archie Manning, I think, you got the age difference, obviously, but I think Drew Brees is a part of that Manning family, whether he knows it or not. I've made a video about that before. I make a lot of videos. But yeah, you can go look at that if you want. Peyton, Eli, Cooper, Archie, Arch. So that's my breakdown. Thank you. I'm thankful to be able to do this, even though my information is just getting used for something else. All of our information. YouTube, we may be future celebrities when we're no longer here. Do you understand? They may take our stories and talk about us like characters who were celebrities. We're not going to be around. Okay? It's a shady, scripted world we live, full of expectations. Arch Manning struggles as top ranked Texas falls at number 3 Ohio State. And who will Texas be playing next? Who is next on the list? It looks like September 6th. Is that San Jose State University? The Spartans. I expect a better outcome for the Texas Longhorns in that game. Shout out to y'all. Peace. What's up, AI? Until next time.